I want to say thank you for being able to, those of you who can join in person. I would ask if you can in the chat, if you could just put down your name and or the child that you're representing in our cast so that I'm aware that you were on here as I send out the email again, because I'm going to record this and send it on YouTube so that everyone can watch it. In case you didn't know, we're doing Willy Wonka Jr. Been working on it. It seems like forever because we started in November and with the Christmas break and even Thanksgiving break, made it crazy. But we're having a blast with it and working really hard with it. So we're really excited. Just some information. I will also send this PDF out so that way you don't have to do anything with it right now, just to be paying attention. But if you have not joined our Remind, I really would suggest that you do that because of the fact that we use it almost daily. I'll send a remind saying who has practice the next day, or if we need something, or as we get closer, the last 2 weeks of the play practice, sometimes we have to go a little bit longer, and we do send that information out so that way, if it says we're going to go to 6 o'clock, and we actually go to 6:30, about 5:40 or 5:30, we would send out a remind just saying, "Hey, FYI, this is happening, and this group is are going to be coming or have to be late." So please join. It's easy. You don't have to download the app at all. The number to text is 81010. And then you literally text the at sign, then HCAWW, and then hit enter. And then it'll request for you to join the Remind. And then obviously I will accept you. And the great thing about Remind that we use is I can text you as a group, and then you can text me back if you have a quick question, but it only comes to me. So I'm the only one who sees it, which makes it great in case you have any questions, because we love junior hires, but there's a lot of times they don't communicate all the information that you need, or you have an extra question. And I do have parents who do actually do that. They'll ask double check to make sure if their child has practice, because there's so many different groups that are practicing at different times. I understand that it is confusing. Um, as we're talking about the practice schedule, as you see, we have been singing. They've been singing Mrs. Cologne in the portable, and then we've been doing some choreography and some acting over where my classroom is in the portable. But today we were in the cafeteria. Tomorrow we're going to start in the cafeteria for space wise. And then as we get going in the following, after this week, we will be moving over to the church auditorium for a lot of the rehearsals because that's actually where they're going to be performed. When it talks about, I went too far, so sorry. Uh, if their characters are not listed, you're more than welcome to message me, email me, and ask, and I will let you know if you're not sure. But pretty much from this time on, it is going to be most of the full cast. The biggest thing we try to do is not let the kids feel like they're sitting there for 30 minutes with nothing to do. Like today, they were working on choreography and different numbers, and some of them had breaks, and I'm like, work on your homework or study your lines. Don't just sit there. But I also know that they do need brain breaks. And so we're doing that. But that's something that we've been really trying hard not to do, to make them be there then they're not practicing. Our performances are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The ticket sales will be going out probably this week, and we send you through Remind and through the email the link first. So that way you can, because these are your babies. Thursday night and Friday night is at 7 o'clock p.m. The show with intermission is a little over an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So it doesn't go too late. Saturday, our performance is at 1 o'clock. We are doing a sneak peek for the elementary on Valentine's Day around 9:30 in the morning. We could use some help with some adults. So if you want to kind of see the sneak peek, there's a place on the sign up that we'll talk about in a little bit that you can sign up to be there to help. The ticket costs are $5 a student, and that is any student, college student on down, the adults, and then the VIP tickets, as you can see. Uh, now we're the very first, I guess, well, school event that is being done in the new remodeled auditorium. All the chairs are now individual seats, and they're pretty comfortable. We were in there for a chapel this past week, and what we do is instead of doing reserved seats, because it's awfully sometimes hard. Like if you have 8 people and there's 10 seats in the front row and trying to figure that out, what we do is for people who are interested in just supporting a little extra, our theater department and or just want to have that, we do a VIP ticket. The VIP ticket just means that there's a 10-minute, 15-minute window that we let the VIP enter first. They can pick any seats that they want. They also get a snack and water with their purchase that they can get before the show, during intermission, or after the show, because they'll have a special, want to say golden ticket, but that would be a little cheesy, wouldn't it? That they would have for it. All the seats are great in the house, and honestly, if you choose to work, we're going to talk about some of the things that we need. Um, if there's something that you are doing that's performant, like you're there for the entire show, helping backstage or helping with something specifically, we will be happy to give you a ticket to another performance. Because we also know this can get really costly with all the, if you're trying to get to every show. So just let us know. We can use you in different ways for that to help it. Again, as I said, we will have the ticket sales go online as soon as possible with it. Just to some important dates. I went too fast again. The big one is Saturday, February 3rd. We are doing a long practice. They are going to be in costume. We're going to be in the church auditorium for half of it, and then part of it will go back and do some final practices in the cafeteria. We could use some parents, and again, we have a sign up where you can do that. Do you want to help them with costumes or help with? We are going to provide lunch for them. If you can help with lunch or clean up with lunch, we could really use you for that. And there's a place that you can sign up for that. We are doing t-shirts, and I did send an email about this. I do have somebody who's working on it. This is the basic idea for the t-shirt. It's going to be like chocolate brown and with a golden ticket, but the information on the golden ticket is going to talk about Highlands Theater and on the dates that we're doing it. If we can, if it's not too costly, we would like to put on the back in gold the cast members' names, just their first name. We're not going to have them sign it because we've done that in the past and somebody's name gets left off and we want to make sure they're all on there. And then our tech students would have a t-shirt that on the back specifically says tech. But these are going to be available when we allow parents or others to purchase these tickets, these shirts as well. So there will be a link that'll go out this week. And we just have to have the ticket, the number of ticket, sorry, not tickets, the number of t-shirts that we need to order by February 1st so we can get them on the right day. So that is what that looks like. And again, not required for you guys to purchase one, but you can. The cost of the t-shirt for the cast is included in their fees. So there, you don't, if you order, don't order your child a ticket or the golden ticket t-shirt because they already have one coming. Continuing on, because I don't want to waste your time, just going through some things. We are needing some help with some of our set pieces. We have already purchased a projection set, which if you happen to see our Finding Nemo show last spring, we actually rented from the same company an animated backdrop. And so we're doing an animated backdrop for this as well. But there's a few items that we need a little bit of help on. Um, if you know the story of Willy Wonka, the 4 grandparents kind of all sit in the same bed. And we need something that we can use for that that would be on rollers or on casters or um, I think it's the things that you put under when you're trying to move furniture over rugs that can move on and off so that the kids can sit on the bed as it moves on and off. They are not going to lay down. They can be sitting up completely. So it can actually be chairs that are attached together with something so they can put their feet out, lots of pillows and nice and comfy. But if that's something that you want to be involved in or help with, there's on the sign up, there is one. We do have one parent who's already trying to come up with ideas, but I know that he would love to have some more help or maybe somebody who has an idea for creating a, a headboard or just having more than one mind working on it together is a great thing. But that is one of the, and these what I put up there are just examples. It does not have to look like those. We could use some help. And if you are creative and or you like using a glue gun or zip ties, or make the candy factory itself, because again, we have the backdrop, it's going to look really neat. But we have we are making some candy cane trees. We want to make some cotton candy trees, trying to figure out how to do that, if we're going to use pink tulle or what we're going to do that, or if you have an idea to put in it. Would love to have your creativity involved in it as well. We are going to have a chocolate river. The chocolate river is a silk, um, a long silk brown piece of material that the two of the Oompa Loompas are going to use as a river, and then Augustus Gloop gets swallowed up in the river. But just we want it to be a wow factor when it comes to that. So just asking if you're interested or if you got ideas. I have some of the props at school that can be built into like the candy cane trees. Or if you are somebody who's like, I love doing this kind of thing, let me work on this at home. I'm totally willing to be like, hey, go right ahead. We would love for you to do that. Uh, Also, where you can find the best place for the signups is on, we use signup.com. And so there's a QR code. Again, I'm going to send this out so you don't have to do anything with it right now. There is a link. And if I send it to you as the way I send it to you, you can actually just click on that link and you'll see that there's places to, for snacks, there's places to sign up to help with ticket sales, to help with what's called, well, I'll show you the different things that are on there. But one of the things that we ask is we do need parents to sign up for two different areas, each set of parents. And if we, by the week, like right before the show, about 7 or 8 days before the show, if we haven't been able to hear from you, then I will contact you or give you give your student a paper that will go home, say this is what we need from you, just so that way we can make this super successful for our babies. And so there's just a lot of little things that we need help with it. And so some of the things that we're looking at is helping again with the set and props, helping if you like doing makeup. We're not doing really heavy makeup. Even the Oompa Loompas aren't going to be painted orange. Actually, the Oompa Loompas change costume 3, maybe 4 times back and forth into different outfits. And so we're doing some very specific things, but they're junior hires and they're going to have socks and glasses and a wig and all this, and just the organization of that, we really could use some help with that. And but then there, everybody does have some type of makeup on, and most of it's natural, but we need, if that's something that you love or you love to be involved in, helping with the costumes. Jennifer Nicholson comes on and helps with the costumes, keeps them hung up, making sure the students are okay. But I know that we can use a lot of help with that. What wrangling is another way to say babysitting. We have to have some adults sitting on the stage behind the scenes, literally not doing anything more than just sitting there and just kind of a presence to make sure the kids don't go crazy. On our stage now are some LED screens that are incredible. They're brand new, and we are using some of them, but they're also very expensive. And we want to be, if adults are sitting near them, it will help the students remember, hey, that's something that you can't go up and touch or work or play with. And it also helps them to keep quiet on the stage. And so to wrangle though, because you're working behind the stage with the kids and you're not necessarily with other adults at that moment, you have to be fingerprinted and obviously gone through the all that is involved with it. And for doing costumes or makeup, because you're with staff members, you just have to do the background check. But for wrangling, you do have to be fingerprinted. But if that's something that you would love to do or you can do, we would love to have your help with it. Other areas are for the actual production, the ticket sales, concessions. If you like putting programs together to get that information out, even maybe helping a little bit with security at the with a golf cart, making sure that cars are okay, or just that that we're, I don't know if, obviously we want to be safe, but just an extra presence to make sure things are going okay. Even bringing snacks for practices after doing, this is our eighth, I think, our eighth junior show. Um, the way to junior hires' hearts is through their stomach. And so starting on that February 3rd, and then every day after that, we are going to have snacks for the students. And we might have snacks in between. It can be prepackaged items, little bottles of water or little Capri Suns with prepackaged items, or they could be fruits or whatever whatever, basically your child will probably dictate what they want. We just do ask, we do have a peanut allergy, so there's nothing with peanuts that could be provided, but we do need you to sign up for that. And on the sign up list, sign up, there is a place for you to sign up for snacks. With the cast and crew, it'll be about 40 kids. We have 26 in the cast, and then the crew will be coming in those 2 weeks as well. And then also our adults that are there. So those are different items that we can use for help with it. Um, I'm almost done with it, with this meeting. It's basically, as you can hear and see, it's an informational meeting. We want you to just to hear from me, to see the things that we're doing, to understand what the VIP ticket actually is, um, and what we're doing with certain things. The kids will be getting ready for each performance when they're doing their costume changes. We're going to be doing it at the cafeteria because the restrooms in the school building are a little larger than the restrooms that they could use over at the church. And so they'll get ready over in the cafeteria. Then we will go down to over to where the church is. And then there's a downstairs behind the stage. And that's where the students will be waiting to perform. We're also going to have a section that's closed off for doing changing. We've asked for anybody who has to do changes that they are wearing a tank top or a t-shirt for the guys, or even for the girls, that's fine. A t-shirt and shorts, so that if they are changing and something happens and they're not behind a curtain or something, that they're always modest and always taken care of with that. Uh, but they will be down there for it. And then when we're done with the whole production, after they say hi to their fans and their family that have come to see them, then they will go back to the cafeteria to change and to hang their costumes up back over there. And so that's kind of the order of when we get towards the actual production. Um, One of the things that we look at, obviously, Willy Wonka, Ronald Dahl is a very unique man when it came to his creativity in the plays. Well, actually, he wrote books, and then from the books, plays were written from it. And the story of Willy Wonka is a lot of fun, and we have a great time. Like, well, I'm not gonna tell you my favorite line in the play yet, but you'll see it and you'll enjoy that moment too. But we try to work on teaching our students because we have sixth, seventh, and eighth graders, and then we will be having high schoolers coming in and helping teaching the students how to do tech, and or helping just encourage the kids as they're watching the production. So they become a family, and they become friends with students that they probably wouldn't normally. A sixth grader and an eighth grader might not normally become friends because they're in totally different classes, but through plays, just like in sports, on a team, they become a unique group for a short amount of time. And while we're together, we pray, we spend some time encouraging each other. And one of the things we are trying to encourage them with is that choices that we make a difference. Even in the story of Willy Wonka, the choices that the children make, whether it's falling in the chocolate or chewing the blueberry gum, or whatever those each circumstance is, there is a difference that's made, and it can make a difference in their in their future, even though I know that children don't think of their future very often. In fact, today I was teaching the story of Daniel and how Daniel and his friends, even before they left Israel, before Babylon came and took them, or Nebuchadnezzar took them to Babylon, Daniel and his friends made choices to say, "I'm going to do my best and I'm going to work hard." And those they were that was the reason they were chosen to go to Babylon. And then ended up, we know the Daniel in the lion's den and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's story, and how God used them in Babylon, and trying to teach our students that even now, a small choice that you are making will make a difference, not just in this moment, but in their future. And choosing God, and always choosing to want to please Him and to do things in love, will make a difference in others' lives. And so that's what we're also wanting to encourage them with, not just doing a play. And it's a blast to do a play. And for these kids, they're going to walk away from this, especially if it's their first time, just blown away with how much fun it is. It is a lot of work, but it is so much fun as they learn how to problem solve, and they learn how to work together, and they learn how to enunciate, working really hard with that and projecting their voices. But they're also going to have a blast with it. But it's not just a play, because we want their future. We want to have made a difference in their life, that they're a better person as a result of being part of this and have grown closer to Christ. And that's with all the adults that are working in the show, and Mrs. Cologne and I, that is a prayer that we have for them. And I want you to know as well, as we're finishing up, that I'm praying for you and your family as well. And if there's a prayer request or something that I can help with, or even encourage if always not a bad thing if a child is not doing their homework, to say, hey, I can encourage them with that, saying, hey, listen, we want you to stay in the show and do this in the future. Make sure you're doing your homework. I'm happy to help with that, to encourage your student as well. But I can promise you that both um, Mrs. Cologne and I find it's an honor and a privilege that you have given us the responsibility to work with your students for this between 60 and 80 hours that they're going to have put into this. And we don't take that lightly. And we thank you for the time. And we know it is sometimes inconvenient having to go back, especially if you have other kids coming back and getting them and listening to them talk a mile a minute about certain things about the play. But we want you to know, I want you to know that I'm very thankful for you as well. And we are praying for you. And that is the end of the meeting. And I want to thank you so much for listening, and being able to be there, or whether you're going to be listening to it. There's going to be groups that are going to listen to it at a later time. I just want to say thank you for that.